emojis in the chat pins. Crying emojis in the chats. Oh my lord. It's your boy Duty back again with another video. And breaking news, folks. Breaking news. And it's some sad news for our boy Phil. That's right, folks. Just like your boy reported last week, DSP memberships have dropped yet again. That's right, folks. The gifted membership bombs that were dropped last month, of course, no one decided to take up that offer and actually renew and pay for memberships. That's right, no one did. Our boy Phil here has dropped a whopping or close to 100 members in a matter of a couple hours. He was at 565 earlier today, and of course when he came on stream today, he is now down to 475. Nearly 100 members, and mind you, that's not even the worst of it. He's scheduled to drop another 50 at the end of this week, so he's going to be hovering pretty close to that 400 member mark. And you know our boy Phil is going to panic. He is. He has been on a pretty bad drought lately around his tips. The tips have just not been there. He's barely hit the tier 2 goal on any of his streams. And of course, lately he's been begging for super chats and memberships. And, you know, he did get some of the memberships, but of course, you know, no one's renewing. The problem with gifted memberships is when no one renews, you know, you're reliant on people dropping member bombs. And that's just not going to happen. People don't have that kind of money to keep up with those member bombs every single month, Phil. And a lot of your whales have just gone. Emil, who we know Emil was known for dropping member bombs, he's gone. OIC, God knows where he's been. You know, you're just not getting that level of support, Phil. And the problem is that if you beg for memberships, that's going to hurt you in the tips, in your tips. And the tips have been terrible. I reported out last week your numbers for July, and they were abysmal. Your tips were abysmal. And we already know you've already dropped that beg where you need those tips to increase. And mind you, we all know that he spent, because of course he has to tell everybody every 5 minutes, that he invested $500 on a new joystick that he didn't need. You know, he won't invest in blood work for his cat, but of course he'll invest in a joystick that's pointless. That's very pointless. But I guess Phil decided that he was going to put his money, he was going to put it all on black. You know, he was going to roll the dice and hope that the joystick and moving to PS5 would save the channel. And of course it hasn't. You know, the dents have not reciprocated. They're withholding, as Phil likes to say. And they're just not paying up. Today he played GTA 5 on the first stream and got what, $70? $70. He was hoping that the European crowd would come and flock and, you know, give him the tips and the support. And it really didn't happen. He couldn't even hit that tier 2 tip go and wear that Los Santos cap that he's been begging to wear since he's been playing GTA. And of course, he's put out the call and said, hey, I need people to invest. I need people to buy in. I need people to donate. I need people, you know, to step up. And it's just not happening, folks. It just isn't. And we can see it here by these numbers. You know, with this 100 member drop, it's not good for our boy Phil. Now the interesting thing is I was watching his stream here of Chrono Trigger, and he hasn't mentioned it yet, but I'm pretty sure he will. And of course tomorrow that will probably be the main topic, is memberships and him needing buy-in and support. And of course he'll couch it as, you know, it's to help out the community. It's not to help out the community, it's to help out Phil's pocket. But of course he can't say that. You know, he has to couch it with, you know, we're supporting the community. Yeah, so I envision him maybe losing his shit pretty soon. Everything's been abysmal. The only thing that's been okay for him is been super chats. But tips and memberships are they're just tanking. So your boy Duty called it last week. I knew he was scheduled to drop about 75 members. And it's still not, the hemorrhaging still isn't over. He's supposed to be dropping another 50 this week. So he'll be close to 400 members. Remember, folks, remember, gifted memberships was supposed to save the channel. Gifted memberships have been a thing for over a year now. They've been in place since last year in May, I believe, is when they became effect. They came in effect. And before gifted memberships was a thing, Phil was at 375 members. 375 members. Over a year of gifted memberships, and he fails to continually keep those member numbers up. Right here, he's at 475. He's going to be dropping close to 400 again. And I've always stated that his membership, his real membership count is anywhere between 370 and 400 members. That's where he actually is. And all of those gifted memberships that inflate the membership count, they eventually don't, get re-upped, and Phil just drops. So his real number is 370 to 400. And probably by the end of the week, that's where he'll be at yet again. He'll be close to 400, maybe even lower than that. So, yeah, Phil, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do, Phil. I know you're going to blame it on, the last 2 months you blamed it on lengthy RPGs. You blamed it on, playing those 3 RPGs at the same time. That's what killed your momentum. August, what are you going to blame it on? You're going to blame it on that there are no real games, and you relied on special events, and you did retro gameplays? Then what in September? What are you going to blame in September? September will have a couple games. You'll have Starfield and a few other things. You're just going to blame it on something new. He'll probably start blaming it on actually the move to going to PlayStation, where he made a mistake. He upset the apple cart, and he should have stayed at Xbox, and he made a mistake going to PlayStation 5 and playing Street Fighter and starting all over, when the Dents wanted him to stay within Xbox and continue playing his Master Blanca. He'll find some lame ass excuse and blame it on something. But of course, don't forget, these were all his choices. These were all of his mistakes, and it just shows that this joystick gimmick, this investment that he tried to pawn off on his Dents, is already failing. The Dents do not care. They do not care whatsoever. And you trying to shove this in their face and get them to buy in is just going to be yet another disaster for you. Anyway, grind emojis in the chat for our boy Phil. The memberships are declining yet again, and it just shows that Phil's channel is a dead husk of a channel. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.